Hi guys, welcome to Marikit Studios. As you can see, there's a new palette on my desk, and welcome to the world, Cheshire. I named the palette Cheshire after I put the sticker, the Cheshire Cat, on it. And another reason was because I actually lost my Holbein CMYK palette, and it did a real disappearing act on me, just like the Cheshire Cat. So I really wanted to keep this in my sights for a long time. I also love Alice in Wonderland in all its, well, all versions of it. So there we go. This palette is actually a Daniel Smith custom palette created by architect Alan J. Quesada. He has a Facebook. He's a wonderful architectural artist. He does watercolors, and his environment studies are wonderful. I would like to learn from him because I cannot do backgrounds for the life of me. Anyway, this is a custom made palette requested by me, and it uses two different basic palettes, which is the Zorn palette and the CMYK palette. The Zorn palette is made by Zorn. It's made up of only 4 colors. All of his paintings was also made up of 4 colors, which is yellow ochre, organic for some type of alizarin crimson, titanium white, and a blue black, which is usually ivory black. In our case, I am using lunar black and phthalo blue. And actually, Zorn also sometimes added a blue tone to his palette, so that makes a total of 5 colors. The rest of my palette has the CMYK, the Quinacridone Pink, the lemon yellow, the phthalo blue, and the black. So I combine those two to make two different kind of tones to my work. Actually, I already tested it, and this is the first initial test of the palette. As you can see, the CMYK did very bright tones, and the Zorn palette over here did very muted, kind of nice earthy tones. And if I have the additional colors, the convenience colors, this will actually make for a really interesting palette to work with, traveling or inside the studio. Alright, so I want to talk about now a little bit on the CMYK palette, and to show you this palette in action. So here we go. The CMYK palette is made up of 4 colors: cyan, magenta, yellow, and a black. So those colors are actually what our printers use to print bright colors. So instead of using the orange, the red, blue, and yellow palette, which makes a lot of mud when you actually mix it, you want to use brighter colors. So that's where the CMYK comes in. So if you really want vibrant and bright colors, you want to use a CMYK. As you can see, I laid down an initial layer of yellow because I want it to be in the middle of my palette, of my gradient. And now I am adding a lot of the pink on one side, and I'll be adding the blue on another side. And so I will gradually work that in with water and just push that to see how the yellows reacts to the pinks and how it blends, and if it creates my rainbow that I usually make when I do these kinds of exercises. I do love my rainbows. So I'm extending now my little, as you can see now that there's pinks here pulled over here, but in here around this area there is orange that is building up really nicely, and that's what I really want, that orange. So let's drop in a little bit more pink in there, and yeah, see there. Here we go. While the blues are going to be on this side. Phthalo Blue is a really bright cyan. It's kind of a green blue. And as you can see there, we do have a brighter green. And that phthalo is really beautiful. It's a really good color to have on your palette. And I never really go out without it. I want to also put another layer of pink on this side to kind of round it off. I should have made a circle, but I didn't think of that. As you can see, that made a really pretty purple, which if we put around should come back to the same magenta color. Alright, so this bright palette is my CMYK. I will now put individual colors. My Quinacridone Pink, my Pthalo Blue, and my lemon yellow, my favorite kind of yellow. It's so bright and sweet. Alright, so those are the colors that I have, plus the K is actually a lunar black. And if you are interested on how you should use the K, it's just to tone down all those colors. As you can see, I'm glazing over it, and it really darkens them up a little bit and creates a more muted tone underneath. That's the CMYK palette and it really blends well, and I love this. I actually really love this. Alright, so yeah, so again, we'll go back to the colors. This is Quinacridone Pink, Phthalo Blue, Lemon Yellow, and Lunar Black. You can use Ivory Black or Lamp Black or some other form of black, true black in the mix. Sometimes if you want to lighten up, you can use a white, a titanium white, a buff white to lighten them up and make pastel colors. So that's this part of the palette in action. Let me move this and we'll go on to the Zorn palette. The Zorn palette meanwhile has 4 colors, and it is the yellow ochre, which is one of my go-to colors. I never really have a palette without this color, the yellow ochre. Some kind of warm red, alizarin crimson, and this one is organic vermilion. Actually, vermilion is a closer color to what Zorn uses. It's not a true red, it's kind of an orangey red. And then there he uses a blue black. We don't have a blue black here, so we'll be using a mix of the lunar black and the blue. And then there's titanium white, of course, but you won't be able to see it, so I'm not going to really put that in. With these colors, you want to push it together, and if you mix them together, they should create a true neutral in the middle. And there we go. It should create a gray, a really nice gray. I will try to also again layer this palette and create different skin tones with it. Zorn uses this for portraiture and different kinds of things. And it's another base palette because there's the red, the yellow, and the blue as well. So here we go. The more blue you put, the more purple it gets, and it is very interesting because it does create a lot of different skin tones. I can see myself using this a lot for the Zorn palette, a lot for there's a lamp black for my skin tones as well. I will do a very intensive study of this in another vlog, but for now I want to explore my palette. Here we go. This is the blue, and then we'll do the yellows on the side. Make another true blue there. So it's very interesting, this palette, because it does create a lot of tones, a lot of more muted tones over this bright colored palette thing. So I have all my muted colors over here with the Zorn, and the brights with my CMYK. So yeah, this is pretty much a complete palette. If you think about it, I have all the things that I need to create any kind of painting, whether it's environmental, portrait, or whatnot. I also have some convenience colors with this. A really nice teal, cobalt teal. Then we have the shadow on olive green, which I use a lot for skin tones and leaves and stuff. I do a lot of botanicals. There's also a nice shadow green, which will pair well with my Zorn palette. And shadow violet will work really well with a lot of my portraits. So yes, these are the two kinds of gradients you can do with this one single palette. It's only 12 colors, and I will list all the colors down below, and also I will put them right around here or at the end of the video. So if you're interested in creating this kind of palette, please let me know if you do, and what are your experiences in creating this one all-in-one palette. Alright, I'm gonna have fun and paint now, so don't forget to think, dream, create, and believe. And always believe in yourself, because what you create is beautiful. Alright, Chester and I have to say goodbye. We are going to have fun, and so bye.